Up next we got Javier. Let's take a gander, huh? This is a fat portfolio. There's a lot of stuff in here. Some cool things. Look at that cool pose. This guy's cool. I don't mean that in a condescending way. He's comfortable. I like it. Sometimes the pictures are just up close and it's just a dude like, it's like, what's happening? That is cool. These are cool. Oh man, I like your logo. Yeah, this is rad. I like this. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, I like this a lot. It's pretty rad. So you've got some materials in here. You're an environment artist. Let's see what you said in here. Strengths and weaknesses. Okay. So right off the bat, your substances look pretty good. Let me see that. Like this one, desert rock. So the only thing I would say with the desert rock is it's kind of hard to tell where, like, what type of rock or like how the rock is forming. Because you know when you have like rock cliffs and sides of rock faces, they have like that striation layer, so it's like it's layered upon itself, and you want to make sure that that's kind of coming through. Um, it just this one just kind of seems like it's everywhere. It's not really. It doesn't really know what it is or what part of the rock it's trying to portray. This one's interesting. Ancient concrete. So this pitting pattern is pretty interesting. It's kind of cool looking. The camera is really close to it. It feels like, so I'm having a hard time seeing like its overall surface looks like. And I think the roughness is very odd. Like it's hard to tell. Is it wet? Is it a wet type of alien concrete surface? Are these areas wetter or are they smooth or? Wow, that's interesting. This one also has a very similar feel to the first rock material that you had. There's a little bit more definition on the hard edges and whatnot. But like this is very generated feeling, the way that this is forming. And it's really about like it sucks that like we can't just make materials most of the time. We have to we have to pull from reference. So a lot of the times, while it's boring, making a brick wall and making rocks and making bark, those are like things that hit you so hard that you just learn attributes about those types of surfaces that you can carry with you onto making your own types of surfaces. So this is debris rock. There needs to be a much heavier separation between the pieces. This one's pretty cool. I'd say you might be missing out on the bloom of the emissive. And the overall material is quite dark, so you can only rely on the highlights and stuff. In general, though, it looks cool. It's cool seeing people creating these types of materials. I'd say my pet peeve with stuff like this is when it's so built up like that. Let me load up Epic Pen here. When it's so built up by that's like man-made or made by a civilization. What? Why? What happened? Whoa, flashbang. Sorry. Wait, what? Oh, I'm very confused. Well, I was going to say, I'll just open this up like this. Is this going to work? No? Wow. That's new. Anyways, so this edge here and these gaps are very thin, and I kind of feel like this edge should be directly centered between these 2 points. So right now it's very close to the other edge, so you're getting this really thin piece that's kind of difficult to explain from a manufacturing standpoint. Like, that structurally seems dangerous. But now we're looking at your materials. I want to look at some of this stuff up here. I think I'm going to just go right up to here. I think these 3 might be best in like a blog if you have Pro or another blog. Let's see what's going on here. This one's pretty cool. Holds up quite close. That's nice. Hello. Whoa, cool. Creatures, man. I'm terrible at creatures. This gives me some Zelda feels. But I'm gonna keep blasting through this so I can give you the reactions you need. This is pretty cool. I would definitely add some more volume to this and get some ambient occlusion into the material just so that you're seeing the separation of the coins. If you're gonna show the wireframe, I'd probably go with a black wireframe for this shot just because it's so bright. This looks pretty dope though. I like this. Especially in this view, it's like it's reacting to the lighting in an interesting way, and I think that's really what matters. This one looks there's some tiling materials that are a little on the low res side. Wow, it is really low poly. You could like triple that easily to get all the details that you want in there. Because what you want to do is kind of get away from these hard straight edges, and you can take those inner areas and actually extrude them out. Yeah, and Forsling's talking about, we're now starting to realize that we're looking at a lot of character stuff. So, oh, this is cool. But I really make sure that you, if you want to be, this is nice, it's a cool design. The bevels in there are interesting, or the little inset edges and stuff. You want to make sure that you're really pushing portfolio stuff, which I guess it's good that it's all up here, right? Keeping it at the top is good. This one's difficult to tell. There's a lot of post work going on top of it, I think, so it's hard to tell like how much of it is made. This might give us answers. So surface wise, try to have a lot of smooth areas. That way the high detail versus areas of rest, which are smoother surfaces, like that, you have a good balance of that. And the ratio is 30-70, so 30% like noisy high detail areas, and then 70% areas of rest. Sorry, I'm skipping through here a bit. It's an interesting space. Some of the like you're really going like big scale, which becomes very difficult for someone to do on their own. I'm not sure if like you were working with someone on this. That's awesome with the lightning. But make sure you don't spread yourself too thin when you're making an environment, because it can be really difficult to create an environment this large. That's some interesting information here. So, I mean, overall, it's very, like, where it's dark, it's black, so it's hard to see stuff. And it's hard to understand what you're looking at as far as shapes. Like, I don't know what this surface is. Because it feels organic and natural, but then it's got a lot of unnatural stuff to it. It's like someone poured tar to make a sidewalk or something, if that makes sense. And compositionally, everything is very busy, so it's really difficult to see the space. Like this area right here feels pretty good. There's a little bit of area of rest here, and there's a focal point with the door. This shot's pretty interesting. Man, there's a lot of colors. Let's look at this one here. This one's pretty cool. This one actually reminds me of what is it? Satisfactory. This feels satisfactory like. Like I feel like I'd run through here and then go mine some stuff on the back there and then build a conveyor belt through this area. These colors are really cool. I like that. Nice complementary going on there. So this is just using content that already exists and just working with lighting, I take it. Yeah, so modular kit. Yeah, cool. And the colors are really interesting. And compositionally, like this is pretty cool. Leading you through a space. I really like this one. I feel like maybe it's a little tight here, so taking this piece and moving it a little bit more to the right is gonna give you a stronger overall image. Oops. Let's go to this one. Need to up res. So I love the red grass is really interesting. So when I look at this piece, at least in the video, it's difficult to frame this interestingly. Like the camera's panning across here, but there's not really any story to tell. Like here, you're showing the tree or vines and whatnot, but then like the story doesn't really happen until you see this destroyed stuff. This shot is pretty strong, I think. This might be a little too far left. And then this one might be a little too centered. And the way the lighting is really messing with the grass blades here. Whereas in this one, it's a lot more accurate. This shot's really good. And seeing all the grass inside of the stones here really like tells how much time had gone by. Yeah, this actually looks much further away than what's implied here. Like I think this is actually should be pretty far. Like you go over this edge and then you have to drop down and then run that way and then you're there. Oh, this is cool. I always love seeing people presenting their content like this. It's really good. Because it helps me understand how you're putting things together or how you're thinking about stuff and how you think modularly. Okay, I'm going to blast through this one. So I think your work is getting stronger. There's definitely more sense to like where things are placed. And the props don't look as noisy. The lighting looks better. There's effects. There's a lot of storytelling going on. That's really good. There's a focal point. It's cool. It's in a space where it's very centered and like it feels like even though it's by itself, it makes sense why it's by itself. I love this shot. This is cool. It's like lots of storytelling going on here. Yeah, this one's cool. Oh, nice. Always love these. Wow, look at all those stars. So I think the beam, I know it's really bright, but I think it might be too bright. It's really, like it's as bright as a star, right? Either the stars have to go down in brightness or the beam does. Just so that you feel some balance. And like this is really, it's basically white. This is stronger though. This is the strongest one I've seen so far. This angle is cool. All right, last one. This is pretty strong. Yeah, man. I'm getting some Beyond Good and Evil feels from this. It's definitely your strongest piece. This looks great too. Super strong composition. Good balance of detail and areas of rest. There's some storytelling going on here. What's he? Is he barking? I didn't hear him. All right, we're almost done here. No, this is great though. This is definitely your strongest piece. Ooh, look at these materials. Ooh. Oh yeah, man. Oh, dude, I like the way that these are. I like the way that these are done. These look really cool. Maro's freaking out, man. Yeah, I really like this one. I would definitely. Where's your? Make sure that that's your upper banner. It's much stronger than this piece. Yeah, that's sick. I want more of that. I want more of that. How often was Madu barking? Thanks for sharing your portfolio though. I think going more in this direction, your compositions are stronger, making sure that your materials are balanced, not too busy or noisy, telling stories, and really pushing the geometry to support what you're trying to show versus like limiting the geometry to try and keep it within performance or perceived real-time performance. Just make it look cool, and that's what this one's doing, so good job. All right, one more portfolio, and then I got to get out of here. This last one might go pretty fast, but yeah, cool. Be right back.